Welcome back to Say No More Media. It's day 3 of the Colorado Buffalo spring football practice, and we got 1v1s versus the DBs, the quarterback battle that's brewing between Julian Lewis and Caden Salter, the revamped O-line featuring Jordan Seaton, and of course that new D-line, and of course Coach Prime was in full effect with his morning speeches, delivering motivational themes to these young men to not only have them win in life and on the football field, but outside of the football field. As we know, Coach Prime is still waiting on to lock in that deal from the CU Buffaloes to make him the highest paid head coach in the Big 12, and he deserves it. So let's keep an eye on that because it's day 3 of spring ball, and Coach Prime still doesn't have his new deal. So what's going on, CU? What are we doing here? Do you want him to walk and go to the NFL? And that's going to be your season. There goes your recruits, and there goes your future after everything he's built for you guys in these past going on 3 years. Give this man his bag that he deserves. He's completely changed around a 1-11 program after the 2022 season, and he just finished 9-4 and went to the Alamo Bowl. So yeah, this is day 3. That transfer portal is still open. I'm not going to lie. I look for CU to continue to look for some transfers to come in, some big time names, because I think they still need 1 or 2 dynamic players on the offensive side and the defensive side to really shift this thing. Of course, we got Jordan Seaton hitting on the phone with Caden Salter. It's good to see them building that camaraderie. If you're going to be a starting quarterback like Deion Sanders last year, he was able to keep the offensive line coach, take them to a lot of dinners. Those are top relationships you got to have between a quarterback and his O-lineman because, everything starts with the O-line, and that's going to be a big theme this year. The Colorado O-line, they've been the talk of college football for the last 2 seasons. Unfortunately, they are one of the most have the most spotlight on them this season, especially Jordan Seaton, the freshman All-American. We're looking for big things from him this year and leading the charge and really changing around this offensive line at Colorado. As we know, their skill players have never been in question, but unfortunately for the O-linemen, they have a lot to prove this year. But with some new transfers in from the transfer portals and a couple of players from high school, I really lean heavier on the run game this year under Pat Shurmur's offense. I don't expect them to put too much pressure on Caden Salter or Juju Lewis, whoever wins that starting quarterback. I look forward to a lot of run schemes coming from Pat Shurmur this year. So what's going to happen with the offensive line? They were getting it in versus the D-line in day 3 of spring ball. There was a lot of exciting plays, but mostly my focus on this day 3 spring ball was on the offensive line and the D-line in the trenches. As you know, that's where football starts and begins. If you can't win the battle of the line of scrimmage, then you can't win anything. We got Kansas State. We got them big boys in the Big 12 that we're going to have to get on some blocks. Iowa State, Arizona State. We're going to have to be able to win the battle in the trenches. So I really feel like going into 2025, the talk of this season really is the offensive line. But just for the city of Boulder, everything's moving in a positive direction. Coach Prime is really taking on the 2025 season, day 3, of just dealing with the new era, new coaching staffs, coaches that's left, coaches that have stayed. And again, the trenches, the offensive line is going to be a huge influence. But for Coach Prime, he's still in that portal. Don't get it tangled or twisted. As you know, the spring ball's coming up for a lot of colleges. That's when a lot of players will decide if they're going to stay or if they're going to leave. And I do see CU landing some big names, possibly some SEC players, some ACC players. Don't get it twisted. Coach Prime wants to win, and Coach, you need talent to win, and you need somebody who's going to push the needle. We need people who are going to dominate. Not saying that Colorado does not have players already on their roster, but they do have room for improvement. And as you know, you got to compete for a job, and his job is on the line just as well as everybody else's job's on the line. And I'm pretty sure they understand, too. He's pretty straightforward. He will be bringing in players from the portal, as well as he understands that players will be leaving CU from the portal. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know who you think is coming to Colorado and who do you think is jumping in that portal. Day 3, Colorado spring ball. Let's just keep it all the way a band. Thank you for watching. And as always, say no more. We out. Okay, that should have been ended already. Bet. There it is. All right. Cool.